Take it easy before you end up like Beezy. Make sure y'all follow my Twitch, subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. But we got five players from the 2026 NFL draft who will be bust. You know what I mean? And 5 that will be superstars. I better see Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles, you know what I mean, as a superstar for sure. You know what I mean? But hey, Raider Nation, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to accept it, but I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. Like I said, Fernando Mendoza is a straight quarterback. He is straight, you know what I'm saying? But he is not a #1 draft pick. He's not like how Johnny Manziel was coming out of college. He's not like how Cam Newton was coming out of college. He's not like how Tim Tebow was coming out of college. He's not like them type of quarterbacks, even the RG3s. I know probably... Listen to what I'm saying, dude. Why are you naming all these quarterbacks that fell off, dude? What are you talking about? How about you just start listening? You know what I mean? And don't hear I said coming out of college. You cannot sit here and tell me that RG3 was going to be a bum. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and tell me that. You can't sit here and tell me that Cam Newton was going to have a career that he had. That Cam Newton won an MVP, he went to the Super Bowl, but Cam Newton did not finish his career like we thought he would do. You cannot sit here and tell any of us that Johnny Manziel would have turned out to be like that. Everybody thought Johnny Manziel was going to be that guy, bro. One of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in college football, Johnny Manziel, torched, you know what I'm saying, our freaking Alabama Crimson Tide, bro, torched us. You know what I mean? So it's like he's just not that type of QB. You know what I mean? I just don't know. You feel me? Because even when it come to Indiana, he was dialing us up sometimes. I'll give him his props. But mostly what we were struggling with was the run game. So I just don't know. I just don't think you should trade, you know what I'm saying, be a #1 pick. You know what I mean? I don't know. But the QBs that you least expect to do something in the NFL usually be the ones that turns out to do something. And then the QBs that you expect to do a lot in the NFL usually turns out to do nothing. Like for Tim Tebow, we thought Tim Tebow was going to be one of the greats. Look at Tim Tebow now, built like a sack of laundry. You know what I mean? Shout out to my Christian brother, though. That's my brother. You know, I'm brother in Christ. You know what I mean? But built like a sack of laundry, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you never know, bro, until draft night. I'm just ready for draft night. Are we ready for draft night, fellas? You know what I mean? Are we ready for draft night? I want y'all to tell me, for any Giants fans, we got any Giants gang. Got any gang members up here, man? F the ops, man. Cowgirls K, man. You know what I mean? Hey, bro, I need some freaking Giants fans. Who the freak you think we gonna pick at #5, man? You know? Hey, like I said, Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs. That's the only right now. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, or Carnell Tate. That's the only right answer. You know what I'm saying? Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, or Caleb Downs. That is the only freaking... Hey, look.
Every draft class has...
And only us Giants fans know, like, what is freaking, like, happening. I want y'all to look at what the freak... I'm telling y'all, this is not the same Giants team. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, we are looking very dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
The bust, an unavoidable truth of football. There will always be the big-name guys that everyone loves who flame out within 3 years. The first-round picks who can't crack the starting lineup end up being a waste of time.
I told y'all he was going to be BJ. I told y'all JJ McCarthy was going to be...
No pre-draft love that are going to turn into rock stars at the next level.
Y'all remember me saying JJ McCarthy was trash? I go Brock Turdy.
A decade. The prospects that analysts swore would bust who become all pros. And the 2026
LT Overton, BJ.
There are prospects being mocked in the top 10 right now who will be out of the league by
BJ. You know what I mean? BJ right here. You know what I mean?
2030.
I just don't see him doing
good. There are guys getting nitpicked to death who will be making Pro Bowl.
Oh, this is another thing right here.
The league by 2030.
Okay.
And there are guys...
Please stop saying we're gonna I just want to address this, y'all. I gotta address this. Shut your dang mouth and sit your butt down and watch like a little good boy or a little good girl you is. But I just gotta address this right here. Can people like stop making these rumors? Because I got a lot of sources, man, and I see a lot of things. Bro, stop saying we're drafting Jeremiah Love. If I see that jump one more time, I'll probably spaz out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, can you stop saying we gonna pick Jeremiah Love at #5, bro? Like, I can't believe that it's some Giants fans that's actually believing that junk. We don't need no dang Jeremiah Love, bro. We got Cam Scatterboom. We got Tyron Tracy Jr. We don't need no dang. We got 2 young running backs. Tyron Tracy Jr. coming off an elite season with Cam Scatterboom. You know what I'm saying? Cam Scatterboom literally was like the best rookie running back in the class before injury. You need no freaking Jeremiah. I'm not saying Jeremiah Love ain't 5. Yeah, Jeremiah Love 5. You know what I'm saying? Nice. You know what I mean? But we don't need him. So I'm tired of people saying at #5 we're going to pick Jeremiah Love. Hey, somebody say that junk again.
Guys getting nitpicked to death who will be making Pro Bowls for the next
got
decade
going that
or
thing
more.
right there.
So let's separate the future stars from the future cautionary tales and call out 5 players who will bust
Carnell
and
Tate.
5 who will become superstars.
Carnell Tate, y'all. Carnell Tate. 5 who y'all got us taking, chat. I want y'all to see who you got us taking. Let me see.
Bust, Reuben Bain Jr.
Bust?
Edge, Miami.
What?
Reuben Bain dominated college football. He won the Ted Hendricks Award. He was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
bust?
He recorded 20.5 sacks in 3
Dumb.
seasons and 5 sacks in Miami's playoff run alone. None of that changes the fact that his arms are historically short, though. Bain's arms measured 30 and 7/8 inches at the combine, the 4th shortest among edge rushers since 1999, and the shortest of any first-round edge rusher in over 2 decades. He also came in an inch shorter and 10 pounds lighter than expected, measuring 6'2" and 263 pounds. For an edge rusher whose game is predicated on power rather than speed, that's a devastating combination. And here is why it matters. So, without length, it is...
I mean, I can promise you, I could swear Aaron Donald was not the biggest coming out of the draft class. I could have swore that. You know what I'm saying? He was not the biggest coming out of the draft class. I want you to go look at Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was small as freak. You know what I'm saying? Nobody thought AD was going to be what it was. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Donald was not that big, bro. You know what I'm saying? One of the smallest D tackles in that draft class. You know, he was short too. So I ain't trying to hear about no short arms. You know what I'm saying? And all that. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? So you better do your research about your boy Aaron Donald before you start talking about some short arms and not looking as big. You know what I mean? Yeah, you better start doing your research. Shut your dang mouth. I seen Reuben Bain Jr. play. I personally don't think he'd be a bust. But like I say, everybody got their own opinion, though. You dig?
exponentially harder to lock out offensive tackles, control their chest, and...
Oh my God, shut your dumb mouth. Talking about he a freaking D tackle. He don't need no long arms. How you need long arms being an edge rusher? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? How you need a long... I want to know how you need long arms being an edge rusher, bro. Please tell me what arms got to do with... Like, I just thought it was about power or just, like, footwork. You know what I'm saying? Please tell me. You know what I'm saying? What long arms got to do with being an edge rusher? I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody tell me, bro. Somebody tell me what the freak long arms got to do with being an edge rusher.
powered on bull rushes. Bain wins in college because he's more explosive and technically refined than most offensive linemen he faces. But NFL tackles are longer, stronger, and more technically sound. When they get their hands on him first, and with those little arms, they will, Bain is going to struggle to disengage. College production against ACC tackles is not NFL production against Trent Williams
and
Jay Sewell. Some teams will talk themselves into Bain in the top 10, and any team that does that is going to regret it. Superstar Jeremiah Love, RB, Notre Dame. The entire NFL is terrified of Jeremiah Love falling to the Kansas City Chiefs at number 9.
Why would you go to, like, what? I mean, the best thing to do, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the newest thing, and I know people don't want to accept it, but it's a new trend coming out. Having two running backs, it's the newest thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the newest thing. So, you know, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Isaiah Pacheco just went to the Lions, so he's going to be joining Jahmyr Gibbs. So having two running backs is the newest trend, bro. So having Jeremiah Love with Kenneth Walker, bro, could be the trend.
You know,
said Ravens started that trend, bro. Nobody ain't looking at no dang Ravens, bro. The freak.
Fear is justified, and then so.
Looking at the Ravens.
Because Love is the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley, and the comparison is more than just hype. He is a true three-down back who can run between the tackles, catch passes out of the backfield, and contribute in pass protection. 4.36 40-yard dash at the combine.
Oh, you running crazy comeback.
Despite weighing more. But Love is not just a burner. He rushed for 1,372 yards and 18 touchdowns in 2025, added 27 receptions for 280 yards and 3 more scores, and broke Jerome Bettis' program record for total touchdowns in a season with 21. He is patient behind the line, explosive through the hole, and dangerous in space. There are some concerns, but they're minor. He's not the most physical runner between the tackles, and his vision could improve, but you know, that's about it. The league has started investing in running backs again at the top of the draft. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Ashton Jeanty went in the first round over the past 3 years. And you know, Love is better than all of them as prospects. So wherever he lands, the offense instantly becomes more dangerous. And if the Chiefs get him, whew, good luck to the rest of the league once Mahomes gets back under center and defenses have to figure out how to stop this duo. Bust, Ty Simpson, QB, Alabama. Ty Simpson is going to go in the first round because...
That makes sense. Let me go and do a freaking what's the name? Let me go and do a thumbnail about you.
And defenses have to figure out how to stop this duo. Bust, Ty Simpson, QB, Alabama. Ty Simpson is going to go in the first round because, well, teams are desperate for quarterbacks and time he played at Alabama. You know, just saying, that does not make him a first-round talent. The warning signs are absolutely everywhere. Simpson is undersized at 6'1" and 211 pounds. Not disqualifying, but notable when combined with durability concerns. He was a one-year starter, which limits the tape available for evaluation, and that tape is wildly inconsistent. Perhaps he could be in the winning starter category with good pieces around him, but if you ask us, that's kind of the ceiling. A winning starter with good pieces around him. That is some Geno Smith vibes. Not a first-round pick that you're going to try and build your franchise around for years to come. Simpson has tools. He's accurate, he's smart, he has a strong arm, and he throws with anticipation. His decision-making was solid. He didn't turn the ball over that much, but solid and doesn't turn it over are not exactly traits that get quarterbacks drafted in round 1. Impact traits are, and Simpson doesn't have enough of them. The comparisons to J.J. McCarthy are very apt. Both are smart, accurate, one-year starters who went to blue blood programs. McCarthy went 10th overall and hasn't played a meaningful snap due to injury. Simpson will likely go higher than he should because the quarterback class is weak. Some teams, though, will convince themselves that he's their franchise guy. Newsflash, though, he's not. Superstar Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State. Caleb Downs might be the best safety prospect in 20 years. The concerns about his medical evaluation are smoke and mirrors. The production and film are just undeniable. So let's start out with what Downs has done. He was a unanimous All-American at Alabama as a freshman, the SEC's leading solo tackler at 18 years old. He transferred to Ohio State and was immediately
need to get Caleb Downs, man.
Safety in the Big Ten, winning back-to-back All-American honors and the 2025 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year award. In 3 years of college football, Downs has been the best defensive back on every team that he's played for. That's not hyperbole. It is consensus. The medical red flags that emerged from the combine, a partially torn meniscus and a potentially degenerative ACL, have been largely dismissed, which is very good because it felt like a classic case of pre-draft smoke screening. Something that teams love to do when they want a prospect to fall to them. But I don't think Downs will fall that far, if he falls at all. His football IQ, versatility, sure tackling, and playmaking ability make him one of the safest picks in this draft. He can play single high, in the box, or as an overhang defender. He communicates like a 10-year veteran. He is the quarterback of any defense that he's on. The Ed Reed and Ronnie Lott comparisons aren't crazy. Downs has that kind of ceiling. So whoever drafts him is getting a cornerstone piece for the next decade plus. Bust, Arvell Reese, Edge/LB, Ohio State. Arvell Reese has all the traits. He also has no clear position. The Ohio State defender is the classic tweener that scouts love to dream on and GMs regret drafting. Only problem? He's not good enough at any one thing to justify a top 10 pick. Reese projects as an edge rusher who can also drop into coverage, similar to Abdul Carter. But his pass rushing
is nothing like Abdul.
And his coverage skills are very concerning, as he lacks the lateral quickness to match up with tight ends and running backs and man coverage, and his zone drops are very inconsistent. That is a significant limitation for a player whose value is supposed to be versatility. The best case scenario for Reese is becoming a situational pass rusher who plays, I don't know, like 50% of snaps in designed rush packages. Sure, that's valuable, but not top 10 valuable. Teams drafting him that high are betting on projection over production, potential over polish. And you know, those bets rarely pay off.
I think, you know what I'm saying, he's going to turn out to be like a Jadeveon clown. I don't know, like a clowny or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He just does it. Like when I look at Arvell Reese too, you know what I'm saying? I don't really, you know, see just, you know, like star, you know what I mean? Like I was thinking the same thing before he even said it. I was thinking the same thing about Arvell Reese, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't understanding all the hype about him, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I mean, you know, a decent player, a solid player, but top 10 player, of course not.
That drafted Cleveland Farrell, Rashawn Gary, or Caleb Chason in the top 10, expecting them to figure it out at the next level. Superstar David Bailey, Edge, Texas Tech. David Bailey was not a household name 2 years ago. Far from it. He transferred from Stanford to Texas Tech before the 2025 season and absolutely erupted. 14.5 sacks led the nation in 2025. That kind of production spike, combined with improved hand usage and bend around the corner, is exactly what scouts look for in ascending prospects. Bailey is slightly undersized by traditional edge standards and needs to continue developing as a run defender, but his length and power give him tools to work with worth that most guys simply don't have. The comparison that fits is Max Crosby. Both are long, explosive edge rushers who play with relentless motors and use their length to create problems for offensive tackles. Some scouts think that Bailey has the highest ceiling of any edge rusher in this class. The floor is quality starter. The ceiling is a perennial Pro Bowler who leads his team in sacks for a decade. Ruben Bain will get more attention because of his college production and Miami pedigree. Bailey will have the better NFL career. Bust, Carnell Tate, WR, Ohio State. Carnell Tate walked into Indianapolis.
I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what I was thinking about Carnell Tate, he didn't do good that well in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, he went ghost. You know what I mean? But shoot, we could take Jordan Tyson. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta be very smart about this number 5th pick. You know what I mean? Number 5th pick. I just feel like it has to be defense. I feel like the first 2 rounds defense. First 2 rounds defense, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. First 2 rounds defense. I feel like we did enough when it came to free agency where we just don't need a first round or second round pick when it comes to offense, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we can wait until like the 4th round, trade up to get a 3rd round pick or another 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just feel like defense, man. Like I said, Sonny Styles. You know what I'm saying? I definitely would like that. I feel like we're going to get Sonny Styles with us signing a Darius Washington. I feel like we're going to get Sonny Styles and then have a Javon Holland. So I'm leaning towards Javon. I'm leaning towards Sonny Styles. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to need another linebacker to pair up with Tremaine Edmonds. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I'm leaning towards Sonny Styles. You know what I'm saying? Sonny Styles, you feel me? He had a great combine, you know what I mean? And then a DB from LSU, you know, because we need another DB, you feel me? Adding Greg Newsome with Paulson and having Drew Phillips back there, man. So
league consensus WR1 in this draft class, but he's walking out with questions that won't go away.
You say you ain't the GM, nobody cares. I get you, but I bet you if our GM make any bad moves, I bet you gonna get the freak out of here. We run this team. That's one thing people don't understand. We run the NFL. We run this. Fans run this. You know what I'm saying? We run this. These mother effers ain't nothing without us. You know what I'm saying? We run this. You feel me? That's what we do. We run this. You feel me? Hey, Devon, you ain't got to ban everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not soft. You know what I'm saying? But we run this right here. You feel me? Us fans run this. You know? So we're going to have a say-so whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a say-so whether you like it or not. You feel me? Joe Shane, if you don't do what the freak we tell you to do, I bet you we run you out that dang building. You know what I'm saying? We run you out that dang building just like we, you know what I'm saying, ran Brian Dable out that building. It's our team, bro. You know what I mean? These NFL players ain't nothing without fans. Look, like, it just don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Ohio State receiver ran a 4.53 second 40-yard dash at the combine.
It's our team.
27th fastest time among wide receivers who tested.
Better do what the freak we tell you to do.
To be a top 10 pick, that's a bit of a problem. A big one. Here's why it matters more for Tate than most receivers. His game is predicated on winning with route running and body control, not separation. A 4.53 40 confirms what the tape already suggested. He's not going to run away from NFL corners, and if he can't separate, then his margin for error shrinks dramatically. The Ohio State ecosystem masked this. Tate played with elite quarterback play, surrounded by other blue-chip receivers who demanded defensive attention. This is serious cause for concern for Tate at the next level. Superstar Kenyon Sadiq, TE, Oregon. Kenyon Sadiq just had one of the greatest athletic testing days by a tight end in combine history.
Oh, man, we always, like, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, you overrate this combine. Like, combines are so overrated. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Combines is so overrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares about your combine. Nobody cares about what you ran in the 40. Junk is overrated, bro. Nobody cares. It doesn't prove anything. I can't stand combines, bro. Combines so overrated, bro. It don't make no sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro. Nobody don't care about that 40. It's just a 40. Okay, a 40 cool. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, speed, like, rarely helps you, bro, in situations. I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's really about skill when it comes to football, bro. Speed, bro, like I said, speed cool and all, bro. But if you ain't got skill, bro, like, F your speed, bro. See, when it come like Xavier Worthy, he ain't doing nothing over there with speed. You know what I'm saying? F your speed, bro. If you ain't got skill, bro, you ain't gonna do ish in the NFL, bro.
That's not hyperbole, it is fact. Sadiq ran a 4.39 second 40-yard dash, the fastest by a tight end at the combine since at least 2003, and he was a freak pretty much across the board. And what really has scouts excited is that his production and tape backs up the athleticism. Sadiq led all FBS tight ends with 8 touchdowns in 2025, finishing with 51 catches for 560 yards while serving as the primary receiving option in Oregon's passing attack. He can win down the seam, after the catch, and in the red zone. Not to mention, the tight end position has never been more valuable in the NFL. Teams are building offenses around versatile weapons who can motion across formations, win in space, and create problems no matter where they line up. Sadiq is the best version of that archetype in this draft. There's more than a couple coaches out there that are licking their chops, fantasizing about scheming up their offense around this
cowgirls.
And well, once your coach is
like I say, cowgirls, you ain't gonna be ish until you get rid of Dak Trash guy. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and make that clear. You know what I mean? If you don't get rid of Dak Trash guy, you're not gonna be nothing. Period. You know what I mean? What did y'all do in the free agency? What did y'all do? I haven't did a dang thing yet. F the Hobbs. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. The freak did y'all do?
To your success, you are set up in a major way to be a star. Bust, Fernando Mendoza, QB, Indiana. Yes, the Heisman Trophy winner. Yes, the national champion. Yes, the presumptive #1 overall pick. And yes, a bust waiting to happen. Now, before you close this tab, hear me out. Fernando Mendoza is a very, very good quarterback. Don't get us wrong. He's very accurate, 79.2% adjusted completion percentage, second best in the country. He's very smart. He's very tough. He won every game he played in 2025 and led Indiana to a title that nobody saw coming. But very good does not cut it when you're the first overall pick. And hey, there are warning signs everywhere if you're willing to look. Start with what happens when Mendoza is forced off his spot. He just did not look like the same guy, and that's not something that will bode well at the pro level. Speaking of which, we also have the system that he was in. Indiana ran one of the most RPO-heavy offenses in college football. Mendoza took just 3% of his snaps under center. That is not going to fly in the NFL, where playing from under center keeps defenses honest and maximizes play action effectiveness. So he'll essentially be learning a new position. Multiple evaluators at the combine said the quiet part out loud. Mendoza is good, not great, and wouldn't have been the first overall pick in 2025, 2024, or 2023. By every indication, the Raiders are about to make Mendoza the face of their franchise, which, through no fault of Mendoza's, is
I'm trying to tell him not to do it. You should have got Kyler Murray, but Raiders gonna be Raiders, bro. I mean, I said don't do it. I said do not draft this man. I've been said it, bro. I said do not draft this man the #1 pick, bro. I said don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I said don't get him and get Kyler Murray, bro. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get him anyway.
Exactly getting your pro career off to an easy footing. He seems like a great kid, and everyone is rooting for him, us included. But it's going to be tough sledding for him to prove his value as the #1 overall pick in the draft.
He's a good QB, not a great one.
Sonny Styles, LB, Ohio State. If you're looking for the safest bet in this draft to become an all-pro, it's a 6'5" linebacker who tested like a Hall of Fame receiver. Sonny Styles' combine performance wasn't just impressive, it was historically unprecedented. But here's what separates Styles from the athletic freaks who flame out. He actually produces. Over his final 2 seasons at Ohio State, both at linebacker after switching from safety, he racked up 183 tackles, 7 sacks, and an interception. Second team All-Big Ten in 2024, first team All-Big Ten, and first team All-American in 2025. The positional versatility is the cheat code. Styles can play traditional off-ball linebacker. He can drop into coverage and match up with tight ends. He can spy mobile quarterbacks. He can rush the passer. As his speed and size make him a complete nightmare blitzing from the second level. At this point, it feels like the only question is how high he goes. Top 5? Top 3? Well, wherever he lands, that team is getting a perennial All-Pro who will anchor their defense for the next decade. But which of the top 2026 NFL draft prospects do you think will be a bust? Who do you think is going to turn into a superstar? What do you think we're right on here? What do you think we're wrong about? Is there anyone that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.
Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm not gonna even say nothing. You know what I'm saying? This freaking kid right here. You know what I mean? Everything I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? This freaking dumb kid just trying to freaking, you know what I'm saying? He trying to find something to say, man. You know what I mean? He trying to find something to say. And then when I get mine to ban you, it's going to be a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? Be a problem. You're going to start crying like a little hoe then. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, just shut your dang mouth, man. You know what I mean? Because I ain't trying to name drop you, dog. You know what I mean? Just shut your dang mouth because everything I'm saying, you disagreeing with it. You know what I mean? Darius Washington trash. You know what I mean? Sonny Styles.